Thanks for joining us here at 6. I'm Stacey Van Dyke, and it's a first alert weather day, and more dangerous temperatures are on the way tomorrow. Let's get straight over to First Alert Storm Team's Chief Meteorologist Russ Thomas with a first look. Russ?
Yeah, thanks, Stacey. It seems like day after day we've been dealing with this. Now, the good news is it does look like this is the last morning. Tomorrow morning that we're dealing with these cold wind chills, and believe it or not quite as bad as it was this morning. That said, we have extreme cold warnings starting at 9 p.m. this evening, going through 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. All the areas shaded in purple, which is most of the, not all, but most of the region here, including southern parts of the Red River Valley, also Lakes Country, James River Valley, Devils Lake Basin as well. Wind chills as low as 49 below. So we also have an extreme cold, or a cold weather advisory, I should say. This covers all the areas that are not in the warning. What we've got for you there is 9 p.m. to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Wind chills as cold as 40 below. So again, that's that difference right there. Is why the advisory as opposed to the warning. Not quite as cold. Still 40 below with the wind chills. So beautiful sunset this evening, and what we've got for you in terms of our numbers: 4 below in Fargo, 2 below Grand Forks. All areas now below zero on the board here. Grand Forks did get up to 2 degrees today, so it jumped up above zero. One of the only places that actually made it above zero. Tomorrow, a few more spots will do that. Wind chill index right now, teens, 20s below. Temp versus wind chill over the next several hours in Fargo, dropping down to about 18 below with a wind chill of 35 below at 5 a.m. Warm-ups coming. It's one day closer. Stacey will let you know when coming up.
Yeah, good news there. Thanks, Russ. And we have to show you this quick look at a viewer photo. This group of friends runs to 20 below coffee every morning, even when it's actually 20 below outside. You can see icicles hanging off their faces there. They say this defines people in our area. We're built different. Hey, don't forget, the best way to know what to expect when you head out is the VNL Weather app. Just search VNL Weather in your app store and download it for free. New tonight, a man is in the Becker County Jail after running from deputies. They tracked him down and had to save him from the cold with wind chills 45 below zero at the time. The sheriff's office got a call around 5:15 a.m. about a man pounding on the door of a home. When deputies got there, they say the suspect ran off. Deputy Adam Winter and Canine Rex found that man face down in the snow, not responding. He was taken to the hospital, then later taken to jail on active warrants for assault, disorderly conduct, and trespassing. Also new here at 6, the Minnesota State Senator accused of breaking into her stepmother's home in Detroit Lakes is now facing an additional complaint. A second ethics complaint has been filed against Nicole Mitchell today. Mitchell cast a vote last month that kept her from being expelled from the Senate. Senate Republicans argue it was a conflict of interest, saying she cast the vote deciding to keep herself from being expelled. If you live in the Northern Valley, expect to see more officers on the road next month. The Grand Forks Police Department will take part in the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign at a time when DUI arrests are up. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie breaks down the data and offers some advice to help keep the roads safe.
512. That's how many people Grand Forks police arrested for DUI in 2024, up from 312 the year before. Compared to Fargo, a city more than twice the size, there were just 187 DUI arrests in 2024, according to city records.
Driving impaired is never worth the risk, both for potentially hurting or killing yourself as well as others that are on the road.
The department has a proactive focus on traffic enforcement, participating in North Dakota DOT campaigns, including that impaired driving aspect. You're looking at some of the numbers from January now.
If you're going to go out and have a good time with your friends, step one of that is to make a plan and try to confirm that. Make sure that you have a safe, sober ride. So at 2 o'clock when bar close rolls around, that person is waiting there for you, and you don't have to try to scramble to figure out how you're gonna get home.
If your plan fails, you can't get an Uber, a Lyft, or a cab, and it's too cold to walk, you can call police for help. In Grand Forks, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Keep in mind, if you've been drinking and you're in a vehicle with the keys, even if you aren't driving, you can still be charged with DUI. Today, Leonard Peltier was released from jail after nearly 50 years. He's an Indigenous activist convicted in the killings of 2 FBI agents in 1975. As people gather in Belcourt tonight to celebrate his homecoming, his sister Sheila tells us it's time to get to know her brother.
Get to know him after 50 years, get to sit and have meals with him, go and visit him, all of that.
She says not only getting to know him, but letting him live an independent life.
I mean, the man's been locked up for 50 years to be able to get up and make coffee when he wants to use the bathroom in privacy. You know, that's all the things that he didn't get to do for 50 years.
Bring you a recap of his homecoming tonight at 10, plus what the FBI has to say about his release. A Jamestown man is facing several charges in Barnes County after allegedly sexually assaulting a teenage girl. 33-year-old Spencer Elliott faces charges of gross sexual imposition, corruption of a minor, and drug charges. Court documents say Elliott sexually assaulted the victim multiple times between July 1st and October 15th. He also allegedly gave the victim multiple controlled substances. His next court appearance is scheduled for March 11th. A Minnesota man has been arrested after a shooting in Bacchus, Minnesota. Derek Kading faces charges of possession of a firearm, assault with a dangerous weapon, and failure to render aid. On Valentine's Day, February 14th, the Cass County Sheriff's Office was called to a home in Bacchus about an individual who had been shot in the stomach and was being airlifted. Kading admitted to shooting the victim and not calling for help. Officers say they searched his truck and found the pistol covered in blood, 9 rounds of ammunition, and a leather shoulder holster. Kading is currently in custody at the Itasca County Jail. The National Guard is providing temporary shelter for people displaced by yesterday's apartment fire in Wadena County. Governor Walz signed the emergency executive order today. 1 person was found dead, 9 others are displaced. The Wadena Assembly of God Church is accepting donations for the several tenants who lost everything in that fire. The church is collecting men's and women's clothing, socks, gloves, and hats, among other things. There's also a newly created Wadena Fire Recovery Fund that you can donate to online. In Devil's Lake, a boil order is still in place after a large water main break in town yesterday. You can see the water shooting up into the streets, creating a wet, icy mess. This happened on 10th Street and 5th Avenue Northeast. City utility crews are testing the water supply to make sure it's safe to use. Once this is done, that boil order will be lifted. If you have questions, you can call the City of Devil's Lake, 662-7600. New tonight, North Dakota Governor Kelly Armstrong today signed his first bill of the legislative session, expanding eligibility for the state's $500 property tax credit. He said this will allow nearly 4,000 more residents to qualify for the credit. The tax credit was first approved in 2023, and this essentially fixes issues that some North Dakotans ran into the first time around. It now allows credit for primary residences held by trusts and life estates. The expanded eligibility will retroactively apply to taxable years 2024 and 2025. Continuing coverage of that pool pass price increase in Fargo. Last year, the price was $193 for a family. This year, it's $500. We shared local residents' concerns over the spike. We've had the Park District explain the increase, and tomorrow morning they're set to give an update. You can count on that coverage right here on Valley News Live.
As you might imagine, it's going to be a very cold night once again. 9 below at 8 p.m. By the time we get to 4 a.m. tomorrow morning, 17 below Fargo. Clear sky. Winds won't be that strong, but certainly wind chill will feel much colder than the air temperature. Grand Forks, 15 below. Getting some cloud cover by 4 a.m. We'll have your full forecast. Again, that warm up one day closer. We'll let you know what's coming after the break.